Hey everybody, welcome to Strategy Saturday, your weekly planning session with Coach Sheréa, helping you maximize your week by planning in advance. I am Sherea VéJauan, published author of over 11 books and journals, co-founder of the Goal Setters Club, a coaching organization that specializes in goal setting, exploration, plan implementation, and purpose attainment. Also, am a certified coach, trainer, and speaker with the John C. Maxwell team, mom of 3 adult children, and wife of over 31 years. Visit CoachSheréa.com to see some of my programs and workshops. Today, our goal is to help you get the most out of your week by planning in advance, stay on task with the life goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of the year, to schedule your priorities rather than prioritizing your schedule, creating a consistent routine that will help you get more done throughout the week, to keep you accountable each week by setting aside a specific time to plan, and to provide you some resources and tools that you'll need to help you plan a successful week. So make sure to also plan ahead for special holidays, birthdays, and special occasions so you are not caught off guard. So today we're going to go over some weekly planning strategies. I'm going to give you some tips for maximizing your strategy sessions. I'm going to give you some tools and resources, and then I have a few announcements. So before we start, make sure you find a quiet place. Make sure you block out at least 1 to 2 hours without any distractions, and try not to multitask. Create the right mood. That's the right mood for yourself. Maybe that looks like candles or music or snacks. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you have all your pens, your paper, your books, and ensure that you have something to drink, your water, your coffee, your smoothie. And because you're probably watching this as a replay, go ahead and press pause and get those things together now and then come back to the video. All right, so let's get started. Repetition is the key to forming new habits. So each week, if you're here with me, you will notice that we repeat some of the same core information every week. Every week, I do try to add a few updates or specific things, but essentially, we follow the same formula. The goal is to establish a regular time and space and routine to plan for the upcoming week. So in our sessions, we use the Strategy Saturday Weekly Planning Toolkit, which is available on my website for $29 at CoachSheréa.com. And we're using the 2023 Goals Journal. We're using the 2023 Strategy Saturday Planner. Also, if you have a business, there is a bonus in there. You have your business marketing calendar. And then if you like, I also use a 3-ring binder. So some things if I have extra flyers, if I have extra materials, if I have extra things that don't necessarily fit, I place them in my 3-ring binder. And then optional prayer journal. I use my prayer journal every day, but you also can use it as a weekly journal. Maybe you have some things that are coming up in the week that require some additional spiritual assistance, and you can use your prayer journal for that. So that's what this looks like. You have this in your Strategy Saturday toolkit. Okay, so before we get started, do not get overwhelmed. I'm going to give you a bunch of information. I'm going to give you a bunch of tasks. I'm going to give you a bunch of things to look at, to consider, to reflect upon. The goal of this session is not to get overwhelmed. It's so that you don't get overwhelmed throughout the week. It's so you don't get surprised throughout the week. It's so that things and topics come up now that you spend the time planning for next week so they don't come up at the last minute. Also, if you do the work and you create the list, you have an opportunity to delegate this list. If you're creating your menu, maybe you're not the one that's shopping. Maybe you can call Instacart. Maybe you can assign it to your spouse. Maybe you can assign it to your kids if you have adult kids. So the main thing is to plan your menu, to plan your day, to get your list, to consider what needs to be done. And then you also still have the list and you have the work. And if you need to delegate it out, you can. One thing we can't delegate is our reflection. So you want to start off by reflecting on last week. How did last week go for you? Set aside a space where you can reflect regularly and effectively. Set aside a time to reflect not only at the end of the week, you want to reflect at the end of the month. How was last month? Did I stay on my budget? Did I do all the things that I had planned to do for my goals? Am I on track? Have a reflection for the end of the year. How was last year? How can I make next year better? So you always want to take a look at last year and keep in mind that even though there are decisions that have outcomes and have results, sometimes we don't have control over the results. We do have control over the decisions that we make. Did I make good decisions? How were the results that I encountered last week? How can I make it better? In your Strategy Saturday toolkit, you do have a self-reflection worksheet, and it's really simple. You have 3 of each. This past week, what was my overall mood last week? How did I feel last week? What was I thinking about? How was my mindset? How did I do in regards to my goal progression last week? Did I achieve anything last week? Did I achieve any goals? What were my milestone moments? And then based on that, next week, could I do anything better next week to see better results? And what do I need to stop doing? Because sometimes it's not about doing. Sometimes you need to say, I need to stop doing that. Am I on track to achieve my yearly goals? And I believe this is why we get off track on our yearly goals, because we don't have a consistent weekly routine, daily routine, monthly routine that help us to get to where we said we wanted to be at the end of the year when we make our New Year's resolutions and when we set our goals for the year. So you also want to reflect. So that's a part of reflecting and expecting. And so for me, I made changes to my morning routine, and it took my timing off a little bit. It changed up my routines a little bit. And so now I'm trying to reshape my habits, reshape my schedule, reshape some things, where I was getting up at 4, but now I'm on a call at 4. Big difference. That means I have to get dressed, I have to do my face, I have to do a lot of things, and I'm taking notes. So I find myself taking a whole workshop and notes at 4:30, way different than getting up. And so I had to readjust and kind of reshift things. I fell behind on my exercise routine last week, and I did feel the impact from that. I started a new social media account, and so now I'm trying to adjust my feeds and adjust who I'm following, who I'm unfollowing. Next week, as far as expecting, I expect to further my presence on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, making sure I'm uploading videos, content, engaging in my next challenge, which is our plant-based challenge that's coming up in September. Making sure I'm committed to publishing a video every week, making sure that I try to increase my energy levels and my hydration. So that is how my week looks as far as reflecting and expecting. So, if you are prone to forgetting anniversaries, birthdays, special occasions, planning is an absolute necessity for you. And even if you're not prone to forgetting, you still should plan these things, because last minute holidays, last minute birthdays, last minute anniversaries that you find out the last minute, they kind of change your time. Now you had planned to do something else. Now you're running to the store. Now you're running to Target getting gifts. Now it's affecting your budget where you hadn't planned on spending a certain amount. So when you review these things, you get an idea of how you're going to spend your time and how you're going to spend your money. And so inside of your toolkit, you have a birthday list that's for the whole month, and you can put birthdays in there. And then you have an anniversary calendar. So maybe it's even anniversary of when you started work. Maybe it's the anniversary of your marriage anniversary. Maybe it's a work anniversary. Maybe it's a business anniversary. So besides your family and friends, so that way you are ready when those special holidays come up. And here are some tips. Buy birthday cards in advance. Buy gift cards in advance. You could buy $5 Starbucks gift cards and, hey, coffee on me, happy birthday. So if you keep birthday cards in your dashboard, or keeps a couple of Starbucks gift cards in your office drawer, and then when a last minute birthday comes up that you haven't planned for, you still kind of have planned for it, right? And then making sure you put that in your budget. So I have a monthly giving budget. So when there's a birthday at the office, or there's, a funeral, or there's a fundraiser, or there's something that comes up of someone selling candy, I'm always saying yes, because I've already budgeted for that. So inside of your toolkit, you have a calendar. So in your calendar, this can also be uploaded to your GoodNotes app if you use an iPad, so you can use it electronically. You can print it out. I like to physically print mine out so I can see it, touch it, write on it. Um, and so I know some of you think it's a waste of paper, but that's what works for me. So you have a space to put your weekly goals, and this is like a quick list, because as you start using your goals journal, you have a space to put your goals in. But here's like a quick list: your week goals, your week priorities, your personal to-do list that you have to get done this week, and then your habit tracker. So what habits do you want to make sure that you work on this week? So for me, mine is the water. I just got to get this water in. I have to get it in, because I find that the more coffee I drink, the less water I drink. Getting on the treadmill. I got to get on this treadmill at least 30 minutes a day, at least. I have to post a video every day next week. And I have to do my face routine consistently. So that is my goal, to do my face routine in the morning and my face routine at night. So those are my habits for next week that I need to focus on. All right, so calendar. Now that you have your priorities, you have your habits, the things that your personal to-do list. Now that you have that together, you kind of want to look at what holidays are coming up, what events are coming up. You kind of look at your fun calendar. I have this calendar, celebrate every day. There's not a lot of things coming up in August, but Labor Day is coming up September 4th. So you want to plan for that. It's a 4-day weekend usually. Find out what your friends are doing, find out what you're doing, find out, so that way you can plan accordingly. Maybe you're the one that hosts at your home most of the time, so you want to plan that in your budget. And then for the fun calendars, most of you guys know it's National Dog Month, and it's Black Business Month, and it's Family Fun Month. It's National Back to School Month, National Golf Month. It's National Sandwich Month. So while some of these things, and there are so many more, these are just some of the ones I picked. Although these sometimes don't pertain to you, or they're things that you are not necessarily celebrating, somebody is. And so keeping, especially if you have a business or a small business, you want to keep some of these things in mind. Say National Dog Month. Maybe you sell dog food. Maybe you sell dog clothes. Maybe you have a dog. Maybe they're giving discounts at some of these places. You want to keep these things in mind. So as you're planning for the month, or you're planning for the week, you can plan accordingly. August 12th, National Vinyl Record Day. August 13th, that's today. Today is National Vinyl Record Day. So you can celebrate by playing a vinyl record. Tomorrow is National Bowling Day, National Garage Sale Day. So even though I particularly don't care about garage sales, I may go tomorrow. Tomorrow there's probably going to be more garage sales than there have been, because somebody's paying attention. National Senior Citizens Day. So you get the message. So these fun calendars, they're fun. It's good to just glance over them and see what happens. And this weekly checklist, if you're in our VIP group, you have this checklist. You also want to keep in mind, looking at your vision board every week, and writing in your gratitude journal, and planning your outfits for the week, and checking the weather. These small things can be big things if you don't just look at them and review them, and at least have a checklist. What about your home and your laundry and things that you need to put in the cleaners, if you guys still use the cleaners? Your personal shopping list. Do you need to make a run to the grocery store? What about your car maintenance? Do you need oil? Do you need to get gassed up this weekend? Do you need to wash your car? What about your doctor's appointments? Scheduling your gym. Maybe you need to schedule the chiropractor or massage. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this is not to overwhelm you. This is to give you an opportunity to sit down and reflect on the things that are priorities for you, and you sit down for 1 to 2 hours today so you don't have to spend 10 hours next week sorting all these things out when they come to you at the last minute. If you already planned your meals, you already planned your clothes, you already know you have all of your supplements in the house, you have water, it should be a smoother week, and you can attack. You're ready to attack whatever else you have to deal with. And the mighty budget, the monthly budget. I use Dave Ramsey's budgeting app. I love it. I've been using it for years. I like that I can put everything electronically in and change it. Inside of your toolkit, you do have a budget in there. You have a place to put your weekly bills. You have a space for your monthly budget. Don't forget the automatics. The automatics, they be coming through on the accounts. Make sure that you know what's coming out, see what's due next week, and what are you reading next week? There is always the debate between audio and physical books. I do both. I read physical and I listen to audio. If you're driving, you can always cut on that audible audio book. And then if you are doing your physical book, you can plan out what I've been doing. I've been looking at a book and saying, okay, this book is 251 pages, and I'm going to read 5 days a week, not on weekends. And I'm going to divide that by 20. And then it'll let me know how many pages to read per week. So it's like, okay, per day. Okay, so I'm reading from paycheck to purpose. Then I know I'm reading about 9 and 10 pages a day, and I will get through the whole book by the end of the month. I'm also a part of a book club, and right now we're reading Thinking in Bets, and we read that book every night. We read 10 pages every night. On the weekend, we read 10 pages for the weekend. We're also doing a prayer challenge, so I'm reading that. And this month, we're working on our career goals. So whatever book is based on your career, whether you're a notary or you're a doctor or you're an influencer, you want to read a book based on the career that you have chose for yourself. Meal planning. The benefits of meal planning: hopefully, you'll eat healthier, you'll reduce food waste, you'll cut costs, you'll save time, and you eliminate stress. There's nothing more than getting off work or coming home from the office trying to figure out what you're going to make. And that helps with your budget. If you create your meal plan during the week, on the weekend, you go ahead and do your shopping. Now you're done. There's no last minute surprises. And you have a weekly meal plan inside of your toolkit. And then I just made some little, you can use these or not. I use Meatless Monday. So maybe you can think of a meatless dish. Taco Tuesday, you can have tacos every Tuesday, a different kind. You can have shrimp, you can have steak, you can have chicken. Wellness Wednesday, maybe on this day, you're going to make something healthy. Crockpot Thursday, make it easy. Throw something in the crockpot. It's done when you get home. Fast Food Friday, maybe on Fridays, don't cook at all. Put the restaurant that you're going to visit. Maybe you're going to go for pizza. Maybe you're going to go for Chinese food. Salad Saturday, a reminder to just make a big old salad. Celebration Sunday is a day to maybe have some soul food, comfort food, things that fill you up. And then you have on this side a place to put your shopping list. And then here are some meal prep tips, some resources. I love emails. I use emails. There's also Blue Apron, ButcherBox, Home Chef. I haven't checked on these links in about 2 months. So I need to check and see if they're still in business. I'll check that this week. And then, as I mentioned before, you can have a weekly routine. So even though you have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, you can change up the tacos. You can change up the type of tacos you make. Even though you have Crockpot Thursday, you change up the meal that you make for the Crockpot. And our recipe of the week is a creamy avocado spinach smoothie. I will have this recipe available for you to download. There's an avocado, spinach, banana, almond milk, or a milk of your choice. Like I'm allergic to almond milk, so we use oat milk, 1 teaspoon of honey, and then vanilla extract. And so this is if you make this smoothie, go ahead and tag me if you're on Instagram. And goal setting. So make sure you are still using your 2023 goals journal. This month we are focused on our career goals. We have a goal strategy timeline. So this is August 12th. So this month you should be researching the books and magazines and websites that you need to accomplish your goals. Next week, you're going to be writing out your affirmations. Then you're going to be creating your weekly, monthly, and yearly routines based on that particular topic. And inside of your journal, you have a place to create your routines. So for the month of August, you should have routines that's related to your career goals, right? This is not a count. So your weekly goal accountability tracker is not a calendar. After you have planned your week, after you have looked at your birthdays, after you have gotten your routines, now you're going to finish your weekly goal tracker to make sure you are on track for reaching your goals. And this is where you put your routines at. And we talked about this a bunch of times, making your budget, make sure your budget is ready for August, make sure you're reviewing your birthday calendar for August, and making sure you're looking at your anniversary calendar for August. And tips. Make room for your goals next week. Make room for your goals. If you're going to the gym for the first time next week, make room for your goals. And if you're going to the gym for the first time next week and you haven't worked out in a minute, make room to take a nap, because sometimes your body will be hurting if you work in certain muscles, if you're exercising a certain way, if you're working with a trainer. Make sure you're staying hydrated. So, I remember when I first started working out, when I started going back to the gym, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go 5 days a week. Well, shoot, after day one, I was in the bed for 2 days. So keep that in mind as you're adding new goals to your list. You want to make plans for changes because things will change. Visualize how you want next week to be. Create a playlist. I have a playlist, a Strategy Saturday playlist, and review your vision board. We spend a lot of time on these vision boards. You guys have gone to vision board parties, and then nobody knows where their vision board is. And so go ahead and pull that out and review it. Plan for the unplanned plan. There is an unplanned. Again, I had started a new accountability group, and I just added it to the calendar. Okay, I'm going to be on this call at 4:00 in the morning. Okay, I can get up at 4:00. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's different. It's a different type of. You have to be on video. You have to speak. We're in breakout rooms. I'm in breakout rooms before 5 a.m. And so it's even though you're planning, you have to plan for the unplanned. And my Strategy Saturday playlist is on Spotify. Again, this is my playlist. Feel free to start your own playlist or use some of the songs in there, but create your own playlist that help you on Saturdays, whether you have to clean, whether you have to cook, whether you have to shop, just use that. All right. So thank you guys. I hope that this session has helped you to plan your week. And I know sometimes I talk a little fast. The good thing is you can press pause, and you can rewind, and you can go along with your journal. And so our word of the week is it wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. And as a matter of fact, it didn't rain for a while he was building the ark. And so he was planning because he knew things were coming. And so sometimes you might think that your planning efforts are not worth it, but it's okay. Plan. And even though things may not go as expected, at least you know that you were prepared. All right. You guys have a good Saturday, and I will see you next week.